So I'm Randy. I'm an alcoholic. Randy. Really grateful to be here today. I'm grateful that you're all here. Welcome. So the reason I'm here today is because I have alcoholism. That's why I'm here. And because I have alcoholism, there's something wrong with me. I have a damaged mind. It's not alcohol that's wrong with me. It's not food. It's not sex. It's not gambling. It's not over shopping. That's not what's wrong with me. I do those things to kill the pain of being with me. What's wrong with me is me. Something happened. I don't know when, if it happened before, if it happened during, if it happened after all the drinking and the using, but something happened. And I crossed a line. And I crossed the line with alcohol. And when I drink alcohol, I black out and I do stupid stuff, really crazy stuff. So I can never ever drink alcohol successfully again. But not drinking alcohol doesn't make me not do stupid stuff. That would be great if that worked like that. If you just stopped drinking and all the stupidity went away. But that's not my experience. And my mind talks to me, and it talks to me with authority about what it says is going on right here, right now. And it judges you, and it judges me, and it tells me where I fit in that. And some days I'm a loser and I should kill myself, and some days you're all losers and I should get away from you. But it's always one of those with alcoholism. The disease is built. That character is built. I haven't said this for a while, but the truth of the matter is that character never gets better. I want to think that I'm going to come to AA meetings and I'm going to read books and I'm going to go to gurus and I'm going to practice spiritual principles. And then one day, Randy's going to be better at running Randy's life. And I'm going to somehow get what I want and be happy. And that's not what happens here. What happens here is in the first 6 steps, I illuminate what's going on in my mind, the delusions and the fears that I have, and I illuminate them. I become aware of them, intensely aware of them, because I don't have alcohol and drugs and food and gambling to hide behind anymore. So it's right there, and it's very painful, and I see it. And I become rigorously self-honest with myself, with the help of another person that takes me through the steps, because I can't do this alone. But in 1 through 6, I see who that character is. And because I'm seeing it, I become entirely ready to have God remove what's wrong with me. This is not a self-help program. This is not a program where I'm going to learn about myself and my buttons and my parents, and I'm going to learn how to deal with people better. It's not that. I'm going to see myself, and I'm going to see that on my own power, I am incapable of acting any different than I always act. And I'm going to, in step 7, I'm going to start turning. I'm going to start humbly asking him to remove my shortcomings, where I fall short of being the man that I could be today, in the life that I have today. And that's a whole new character, a whole new life that's going to be built. And it's built right now. This doesn't take time. It doesn't happen in time. It's a decision. I stand at the turning point. I ask God's protection and care with complete abandon of self right now, or I stand at this turning point and I ask my protection and care with complete abandon of God. And there are no half measures. That's the only place half measures make sense. Anyone who thinks their sponsee is going to do this program not half measured. Just think back on your own progress. Stop beating up your sponsees with this half measures of value nothing and relating that to doing the steps, because that is a pile of bull malarkey. Nobody does this thing 100%. You're not capable of it. Your mind, if you could completely give yourself to this simple program right now, you would be 100% healed of alcoholism in this moment. And that's the good news of the program. That right now in this moment, I can be 100% healed of alcoholism in this moment. Not one trace of it, not one old idea, not one lie that I tell myself about how the world operates, and I believe that that's true anymore right now in this moment. It's all still there. If I want to go there and talk to Randy about it, we can figure out what's wrong with all of you in 10 seconds. And figure out why I should never come here again and why I should kill myself. I can do that. I'm very fast. I'm very good at it. And we're in the second step, and we're reading We Agnostics. We Agnostics is not about how to find a God. We Agnostics is about why I won't do the work to find a God because of all the prejudices that I have and all the old ideas that I have and all the old stories that I have about religion and God and suffering and people and why. That's so We Agnostics is about stop fighting and start being open to something. But step 2 is right now, right here, because I have admitted complete defeat around my alcoholism, which is complete. Because I've admitted that, I can be at a place where I'm entirely ready, where I'm open to the idea that there could be a higher power, and that I can no longer restore myself to sanity, and that maybe that higher power could restore me to sanity. And that's just a maybe. That's just a fantasy. That's just a make-believe. Maybe that could happen. But in step 2, I start practicing. I start practicing rightly relating myself to that higher power. And I start to have experiences of what happens when I do that. If you have the experience of rightly relating yourself to your higher power and your life gets worse, you shouldn't go further in the steps. You should try something else. But my experience has been over and over and over and over and over again. Whenever I get to a place of complete defeat and I ask for help, the help is there, and somehow I'm restored to sanity. And the whole situations that I thought were such catastrophes turn around in a thought, in a moment. My whole outlook on life changes like that, because I put my attention on something other than self, something other than my story. And those are the experiences I have to have in step 2. It's not a willingness to believe. It's a coming to believe. It's a knowingness inside of me that there is a power that's greater than me. And when I rightly relate myself to that power, which means share my life with it, that I have the experience of being restored to sanity, which for me is peace right here, to be okay in this moment, right now. Could you be with me? Could you help me? Could you help me be here in this room without talking to myself about some crazy stuff that happened any time in the last however many years up until this moment? Anything, your mind can pick anything and go back and fight about it. Somebody owed me a bunch of money. They paid me a third of what they owed me. They've owed it to me since 2009. I should be unbelievably grateful that I got a third of it Friday. The minute I got the check, my mind says, oh, how long is it going to take to get the rest? That's a crazy mind. Why couldn't I just be grateful that I got something and enjoy that? No, it started, oh, how are we going to get the rest? Not that I should or shouldn't get the rest, but that I couldn't be at peace and be grateful and have a moment of peace about it. My mind wanted to start right in on it again. So anyway, we're going to read some stuff. We got some big books today. I brought a big book. We're going to read out of the big book. We're going to try to get through We Agnostics. It's a long chapter. So we're going to read a paragraph and have like 1 or 2 people share on that paragraph, what the paragraph is saying to do or not do, and then try to get through that. If you have experience with what it's saying, share it. And if you have a question, you can ask a question. Oh, it's the big book. The other book. We read a few paragraphs last week, right, Jay?
We read up to the right before the first paragraph on page 46 is the realistic temperament.
Oh, fantastic. All right. We read it in the I, for those of you that are new here. We changed the us's and the they's and the them's to I. And so who would like to read it? Okay.
Paragraphs? We have a much.
Yes. We're on yes. We agnostics.
Okay. Yes. I, of an agnostic temperament, have had these thoughts and experiences. Let me make haste to reassure me. I found that as soon as I was able to lay aside prejudice and express even a willingness to believe in a power greater than myself, I commenced to get results, even though it was impossible for me to fully define or comprehend that power which is God.
It's open. Yeah. I think that's what I just shared about, right? I have willingness to believe is not what the second step is asking, though. It's coming to believe. It's practicing something. That was the turning point in my recovery at 2.5 years. I had no idea what step 2 was, because you just read it and the sponsor asks you, are you willing to believe? And you say yes. And then they say, okay, let's do step 3. And then in step 3, you get on your knees and you pray to this God that you have no understanding of, that you're going to turn your will in your life, everything over to this God. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'll say the prayer, but I don't believe any of this. I'm willing to believe in a higher power, but I don't. But I'm willing to. I had the experience of having my alcohol, my compulsion to drink ripped out of me somehow. One day it was nothing but I have to drink. I'm going to drink. I got to drink. I have to drink. This is too much. To, hey, I didn't think about drinking all day today. And it happened like that. It just disappeared. It just turned off. And I couldn't explain that. And I thought something did that. I didn't do that. Or maybe time. Maybe it just takes 6 months for that voice to go away. But as soon as I'm able to lay aside my prejudice, which is what the rest of this chapter or this whole thing is about, then something can start to happen. All right, let's read the next paragraph. Yeah.
Much to my relief, I discovered I did not need to consider another's conception of God. My own conception, however inadequate, was sufficient to make the approach and to effect a contact with him. As soon as I admitted the possible existence of a creative intelligence, a spirit of the universe, underlying the totality of things, I began to be possessed of a new sense of power and direction, provided I took other simple steps. I found that God does not make too hard terms with those who seek him. To me, the realm of spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive or forbidding to those who earnestly seek. It is open, I believe, to all men.
Okay, yeah.
I needed to really understand that paragraph because